Hi, I'm Tina Russick, and you have tuned into Tina Talk, the podcast. I'm thrilled that you did. And I have so much to tell you. So, why did I create Tina Talk, the podcast? Let me tell you about my background. First of all, I had and created and still have a business called A Perfect Closet for You. I would design, draw, and build closet and office systems. But what I found is that so many of my clients needed to just get organized first. And when I say organized, I mean really repurposing, purging, and putting things in places that would be more effective for their work life or just in their closets, in their homes. I've organized entire homes. So that was sort of a new epiphany for me, though I still could always design and build a closet for you. And it would be a closet system, by the way. So it was almost like creating furniture so you could see everything that you had, all your beautiful inventory. But again, it was back to order. And that's the foundation of everything I work with. Then I had a radio show called Tina Talk. Women's Weekly Magazine, KRLA 870 AM. And that was here in Glendale, California. We had the best time. It was a wonderful show. But I evolved and finally I went back to my closet business. And now I've created a book again about order. It's called Perfect Planning for Life, the workbook. And this is a program that I created to focus on writing your goals down every year and doing your best to complete them. And why is that such an epiphany? Because so many people write things down and then they don't complete. They don't follow up. So this is where we are today. I want to share my book with you so that you would need a new kind of a direction on how to get those yearly goals in order and how to complete them again in 52 weeks. Because the way I've created my book, you fill out the blanks. It's a fill in the blank workbook. I know it already sounds fascinating, doesn't it? Let me see. Oh my goodness, my cue cards are already bunching up. Lovely. So, what I want to do, I want to motivate you. Again, why I'm doing the book is I want to help you organize your goals for the year. And I'm here with a fabulous tool. That would be my book. And by the way, my website is perfectplanningforlife.com. And I would love you to just go visit my website, which I think my camera person and producer, Miss Tracy, will have up on the site, up on the podcast. So it will be perfectplanningforlife.com that has more information how you can get in touch with me and email me with questions. So my question to you, lovely viewer, is do you write down your New Year's resolutions and forget them by February 15th? The clock is ticking. It's almost time to, after you wrote them down, you forgot them. This is a commitment. I think everyone wants to do something new and more productive every year and finally get the exercise program or finally write that book. I finally did during a pandemic. There was nothing else better to do. So I wrote my book during the pandemic. But that was wonderful. And do you ever have goals and dreams that you never seem to see that would come to fruition? And that's frustrating because I think people say, it's a new year, I can get into it, I'm going to be really committed this time. And then sadly, life gets in the way. But I think with my book, in fact, I know it and I guarantee it, if you use it and follow the program in the book, you're going to see some wonderful things happen in your life that you're going to feel very accomplished and just better about yourself and where you're going and what you're doing. Do you want to feel more proactive with what you do every day? Because this is also setting up every week of your life. Do you always make a list of things you want to do and then maybe lose it again or never look at it? And do you need help getting motivated? Well, I'm the girl for you. We can do this. Oh my goodness, what is this? This is backwards. Hold on, folks. Oh, and there's another book. Okay. Um and we're back, like we used to say in radio. So this is my tool to organize your goals for your life. I have the answer to your problems. And it is my book. Again, Perfect Planning for Life. I'm not just selling this book to you. I'm creating a way of lifelong results. There was an expression years ago saying, are the things you're doing getting the results you want? And if the answer is no, then you have to sort of regroup and think, why am I not following through on the things I want to do? Why am I not, I have dreams, I have opportunities, and then they sort of drift away. If you follow my program, that's not going to happen. And again, purchasing my book through Amazon.com is a small investment that could totally enrich your life. Perfect Planning for Life, the workbook, is a tool that will keep you on track and perfect with an accountability partner. I really designed this so that you're going to have a partner. Now, for years I had partners and they kind of came and went, but then I finally decided this is my journey, and it's worked very well for me for 10 years. And I've proven to so many of my friends, if you follow it, you're going to see a level of production and actually, without sounding corny, like having more joy in your life. Just seeing that things are truly, truly, truly getting done. Let me also just give you a um, a thumbnail sketch of what my book has to offer. So let me show you a couple things about my book. This would be this is the book. I know it's here somewhere in front of me. Isn't it lovely? That's me. And that's my caricature, and which I designed. And it is a workbook for the art of time management, setting your goals and achieving your true potential. And it is a workbook. So when you purchase it, you're going to see that the way I've organized this and written it, I have a lot of great quotes, which I will be sharing with you too throughout the book. This is your affirmation page. Are we getting that in, Miss Tracy? Good enough. Okay, yeah. Great. The affirmation page is really starting out with I am and I am statements. And you do repeat these every day. And it's very powerful to say, I, Tina Russick, am an accomplished author. I, Tina Russick, am a healthy, happy child of God. If you repeat these things, there's power in hearing your voice and saying these I am statements. And again, proven over and over again how effective it is. Then we have the categories for the entire year. Again, this is filled out. And I'm going to review these categories with you and why I did create them. And by the way, Perfect Planning for Life is actually been taken from a previous program written years ago, I believe in the 30s, by Napoleon Hill and the late great Dale Carnegie. And it was called Mastermind. And it was created actually for a sales team that would be out there selling their products, but they actually broke up into teams and they created something similar to this, which I've changed in many ways. So now it's mine. And what was so remarkable is that the company could see all their productivity, doubling in their sales and also in their motivation and also in just feeling good about what they were doing, because they were not only successful, but it was teamwork. So I will give a credit, and which I also give in my book, I give credit to those two gentlemen. Also, I believe you have to chart what you do. So this is an example of filling out the master chart, which breaks down the categories. Well, I will share with you. And why wouldn't I share them with you? But this page will break down how many items you have in each category and how you want to accomplish them. If you've committed yourself to 45 items to get done this year, and then you break them down through the quarters of the year, or yes, you have your first quarter, second, third, and fourth quarter of the year, so that you're gauging your success. You're going to be on top of what you accomplish, and it's going to feel, again, so much better than sort of, well, I'm accomplishing a few things. I'm not quite sure, but I think I'm getting close. This helps you write it down. You are documenting it, and you're going to have an accountability partner. So that's important too. Then I finally get to the same kind of fill it in page, but this is the beginning of your 52 weeks. So you'll start with a Monday, you will end with a Sunday, and you'll have the dates down, January 1st to January 7th. and you're going to go through the entire book this way. And it's really, does that look good? Are we back in the, okay, we're good. So again, why is this something that I had created and that I know works? Because again, I've done it for 10 years and I've seen the home projects, the writing projects, the ministry projects, everything that I write down, I'm very disciplined, which is another new muscle you might want to look at. And I know there are a lot of disciplined people out there. Those that get up at the crack of dawn and go to the gym first, I applaud you. Those that, walk, if you have animals, you have to take care of your animals. You have to take care of your house. Everything is management in life, isn't it? And, to feel that sense of, yeah, I do want to accomplish this every day. Even the very mundane things can be joyful because you're fortunate enough to have them to do and to have those responsibilities in your life. So I say it's it's also part of being an adult. So yay for us that are grown up and wearing our big girl panties. I'm just saying. So a little bit more about the book. Perfect Planning for Life is the definitive goal setting and time management program. It is not only a great tool you'll need to organize your thoughts and your desires and ambitions on a daily basis, and also contains a useful workbook that you can personalize, customize, and maintain. Everyone has 24 hours in the day. So, how do you get most of your day done over your week and your month and your year? It starts with my book, of course. First of all, you need a roadmap to life. You need to identify and define into categories that you get to go where you're going. I believe mostly everything you can achieve falls into 8 categories, and I really do. The eight categories that will then create the journey when you have these specific goals and categories defined and outlined. You can create your own roadmap to your future by orderly and well defining your presence. What are the mastermind categories? Okay, here we go. There's first of all home, because that's where we reside and we regenerate. Because that's where our heart is, because Dorothy had it right. There's no place like home. And we need to honor the place where we live. Health, because if you can't buy it and you can't take it for granted, and it may maintain a little bit more effort, but always worth it. Finances, because respecting yourself starts with respecting the provisions that God has given to you. Get your finances under control. Find freedom that you may never have experienced. Spiritual, because unless the soul is nurtured, the mind and body cannot follow. If your path is made straight, God can be there to be invited on the trip with you called life. Now, I am a Christian. I believe that Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior. And under that spiritual category, I do my ministries. I consider this a ministry. I work with my clients that sometimes do want to pray, will open their hearts out to me. And sometimes it's me putting on the little psychologist hat and saying, why are we doing this? Where is all this? Is a little disorder. Let's rethink. And my point is with your spiritual life, I think that's got to be your center. I think that's what does stabilize us in so much of our activity. Then there's friends and family, because a journey without them isn't a journey worth taking, which I think is quite lovely. Business, because as scary as a category as this might be to some and challenging to others, this category can and will become exciting to you, as you can imagine. And imagination is the key to good business, resulting in good and great success. Personal and fun, because we tend to forget to play or take time for ourselves when we're all grown up and we get so serious. We need to remember to take our adult crayons and color our hair and toes and color our life. Then I have a free category. My free category is perfect planning for life. Also, because you may need to address something special, something that may not be moving on, or you're stuck, or you might have to find a new way to define courage in your life just for a beginning. Sometimes that every day you might be able to find a daily small step to conquer, so that maybe 1 year in this program, something good will just very simply get a little bit better, and something bad may be gone for good. So those are my categories. And those are the reasons why I want you to have 5 opportunities to fill out what 5 items you want to get done with all those categories. And I've had some people that have worked with my book that have said, I've never even thought of this. I've put this on the side. I really don't think about fixing up the backyard, or and of course I don't talk about kids because I don't have kids. I'm lonely and childless. I have cats and a million fabulous girlfriends, a fabulous family. But when you don't have kids, forgive me for those who have children, you don't think about kids, but I know that could be a huge portion of your perfect planning for life if you do have children, and nurturing them and getting involved with their little lives. So again, I applaud you. I wish you all the success in the world in bringing your family into this book too. I have this theory of writing things down, and I was taught to write beautifully as a child. And writing, handwriting was very important back in the day. Dinosaurs were roaming, the earth was cooling. I'm appalled at some handwriting I see nowadays, but that's just me. However, if you Google how important it is to write things down, you will see that there are 4 reasons writing things down on paper still reigns supreme. Hello, I'm so happy. Handwriting notes are fast, accurate, boost brain activity, and optimize memory. Just saying. A recent side by side comparison of analog paper notebooks versus mobile digital devices used fMRI neuroimagining to identify specific brain activation difference, differences during memory retrieval. Okay, so the more you write, the better you will remember it. This has been tested over the years. That also you're not only going to remember something better, but you're going to be more committed to it. Handwriting details also helps with your personality schedule, and faster than accurate than using a tablet or smoke. Let me read that again. We might have to cut this out, Miss Tracy. Handwritings, handwrite. I'm going to just skip that. We're going to write the whole thing out because that just does not flow for me. Okay, next, how are we doing on time? Good. Okay. By the way, all of this background is written by Christopher Berglund, and he writes the athlete's way. So anything that, whether it's be more athletic even in your brain or your body. This is where he comes into practice. And of course, when I'm writing Perfect Planning for Life, I like to play back to the number 4. So when I saw 4 ways handwritten notes on paper will top digital note taking. 1, jotting things down on paper is faster. 2, handwritten notes tend to be more accurate and have personalized flair. 3, handwriting is a notebook trigger that is more robust for brain activity again. And number 4, writing by hand is associated with stronger neural encoding and memory retrieval. So I thought, and there I am. How happy am I to say I'm right? Yay. So setting up your book. This is going to be, I hope when you tune in, because we're going to actually have other conversations with clients and listeners, I will have a little chat room available. But what's so important is I want to get everyone off to the right start. And again, with filling out the book, you have the 52 weeks ahead of you. And what I'd like you to do, because this is fill in the blank, is to have this weekly fit so that when you start filling in your book, it's going to be, and I'm going to show you right now again, you're going to start with a Monday to Sunday so that everything will fit. And again, I have a space right here. So this is week 1, and all the weeks are numbered all the way to 52. If you start with Monday and end with Sunday, it's going to fit, and everything will work out perfectly. So that's something. I had a couple of students say, "Well, can I start from Sunday to Sunday?" No, 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 no. Just start with Monday to Sunday, and we'll all. It looks so beautiful when it's all filled out properly. And of course, I want you to write in the book and write your heart out and put notes and balloons and little arrows because this is your book. Also, I would like you to apply the tabs. I always use Avery labels, and the special or the particular pages I'd like you to especially tab out would be your table of contents, of course, all the months, Monday. Um, what's that first month again? January to December. Then you're going to block out your first quarter review, second quarter, third, and fourth quarter review. And that's when you sit down with your partner again and review everything. However, I really would like you to have this relationship with your partner every week. Um, I had a partner for years that we would touch base every Sunday, and it was just a routine. How are you doing with your accomplishments? Why? And also, when you have that accountability partner, they're going to say and I believe in rolling over something you didn't do the week before. Roll it over to the next week, and I'd write an R/O, rolling over. And finally, a couple of my partners said, "You keep procrastinating on that. What's the problem?" Many times it was money. Pardon me. Many times it was, I wasn't in the mood, but I kept thinking to myself, so why did I write it down? And I had to sort of rethink, and it was actually very healthy. So again, note to self, this makes you think about where you're going and what you're doing. All this makes sense when you start filling it out. It really will. And when your book is filled out completely, review it, and at this time you can start filling out those affirmations. I believe that this is extremely important, and stating your affirmations with stating and starting with I am, which is referred to as an I am statement. I, Tina Resick, am, or I am a strong, healthy child of God, and I am accomplished writer, and the more you can say to give yourself atta girls. And a lot of people start out with a meditation in the morning. Many of my friends that are really so accomplished in saying, I know what I've got to do. I've got to stop and sit down every morning, thank God for the day, do my devotional, light a candle. And I try to do this, and believe me, it is a discipline and it's a new muscle. But then to sit there and just, put all this great information into your head and into your heart. A lot of people, the first thing they also do is get up and walk around the block. I'm not there yet. I love Hoda and Jenna. I love them, and they're very holistic and very positive thinking, and this is what they bring up in their show quite often. So anyway, I love them, and right there with you. Um, the other important component is, of course, finding an accountability partner, someone that you can trust, that you can believe in, and that you can pour your heart out to. And again, to find someone who's safe, who's not going to be criticizing you. There's constructive criticism, and then there's like just kind of tearing you down. We've all been there. We don't need these people in our lives. We really don't. And the right partner will be indispensable in your success as you go through this journey together. And I just want to, at this point, oh, do I have time for one interviewer?
Yes.
Okay. Interviewer, or actually, one of my students slash listeners, and she's purchased my book and has worked through it. Her name's Corinne. She is in New Hampshire, and she says, I have a question for you. So you can email me these questions. We're going to be setting up other features in the podcast, which I will share with you in a moment. But I definitely want to hear your questions because it just creates, a great conversation. Corinne asks, after writing your personal affirmations, how often do you go over them and do you say them aloud? I thought this is perfect. Great question. So let me answer that. Actually, on page 23 in Perfect Planning for Life, the workbook, I've written at the top of the page of your affirmations, page 23, which is begin each affirmation with I am your name, healthy, happy, aware, successful. These are, again, the I am statements, but please repeat them every day and say them aloud. It becomes very powerful because words are powerful. So thank you for asking that so much. And I'm going to say at this time, um, if you can and you're interested in tuning in to me, Tina Talk the podcast, we would greatly appreciate you, pardon me, investing in my podcast. We are going to be setting up um, accounts so that if you wish to give a monthly donation to keep this podcast going, if you want to become a sponsor, and I could promote and give you shout outs for your business, anything that is, of course, applies to order and, the female journey of life, I would be delighted to promote your business. Also, purchasing my book on Amazon.com. And of course, going back to my website, which is perfectplanningforlife.com. I just think it's another huge issue, not issue. Great point I want to mention. I'm available for speaking engagements. And if you are part of a sales group, a Bible study, you can call me for a list of topics I do speak on and my motivational topics on life coaching. So, thank you again for tuning in. This is the beginning of our journey, the beginning of hopefully you finding something, a new spark in your life that's going to be so exciting and so positive. And with that, I wish you a beautiful day and may God richly bless everything you do. See you soon. Bye bye.